Oh, hi, Cyber Spartans. Sorry, I just got back from our Cyber Spartan workshop where we work hard to test out all the games and activities that you've been playing. One second, let me just put this down. Okay, sorry. Let me restart. Hi, my name is Chris, and I will be the Cyber Spartan mentor who will be demonstrating this offline activity with you today. We came up with this game as another way of showing you how it could be coded on Scratch. In just a moment, I will be teaching you how to play this game with friends, family, or even by yourself. Whichever way you find comfortable, you do it the way you want to do it. So now that I've told you why the game is the way it is, let's get into it. Come on. First section will focus on setting up the game. First, we're going to take out our handy dandy game board, which we've decorated with very cute pictures. It looks like this. Be sure to set it down on a flat surface so that if you're playing with other people, everyone can grab their piece. In this case, a nice table would be perfect. Next, you're going to want to take out the die. Next, you will take out your colorful little clays. For this example, I will choose my favorite color from this bunch. Of course, you can play with whatever color that you want from your pack. Maybe even give them a name. I'll name it Cody. Next, grab a piece of paper or note card to write everyone's name because you start the game with 3 lives, which, to my count, is a few less than a cat, but more than you have in real life. It should look similarly like this. It's okay if it doesn't look exactly like it, just as long as you have a counter. This will be your way of tracking how many lives you have, as well as giving you a few more chances to win. Next, place the 3 move step pieces somewhere along your board. They will be colored blue. And finally, give each player 3 little mass chips to start. They look like this. I will explain what they do in just a moment. Now we're ready to start the game. The object of the game is to get your figure to the end of the last block, aka the donate block, with as many masks to donate. Whoever does that wins. If you're playing by yourself, do not worry. Simply play the game as many times as you want and see how many masks you can get each time. So now let's jump into a game. Let's start the game by placing all the player figures at the start block. Next, if you're playing with others, you have to decide the order of everyone's turn. If you have more than one player with you, let them all roll the die and see what number everyone gets. The order will be from the largest number to the smallest number. For example, if I rolled a 5 and my brother rolled a 6, then my brother would go first and I would go second. However, since I am playing by myself, I will go first. The first step is to grab your die and give it a good shake like this. After a second of shaking, lightly toss it onto the board. If it lands on the floor, no biggie. Just find where it went and remember what number it landed on. However, for this example, let's say that my dice landed on a 5. So I would move Cody 5 spaces on the board. However, before I could do that, I first need to code his move. I would do this by grabbing the blue code blocks provided and build the code to move my character. They look like this. For this example, this code tells me that he can move one space. However, because I rolled a 5, I would need to find numbers that would equal 5. So, for this example, I would actually use move blocks 3 and 2 by adding them together to make 5. Do not be afraid to use any counting method that you are comfortable with. So now that I have my 2 and 5 move blocks, I can now move Cody 5 spaces up. And let's count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. These steps will be for all the players in the game, so have them do the same thing. This is how you play the whole game. Now you may be wondering to yourself, but Chris, what are those special colored spots on the board? Well, great question, Cyber Spartan. I'm glad you saw that. As you may have noticed, there are a bunch of different colored blocks with their own instructions. For this next section, I will explain each type of block that you may come across. Timestamps will be provided in the description below. Remember, Cyber Spartans, do not be afraid to keep coming back to any parts of this video to help you play and win the game. Let's look at this first block with the mask icon spot. This is called the mask block space. If you land on the mask block space, you can take a mask chip out of the box because you've earned it. This can be used for your final donation at the end of the game. So this is me adding it to Cody's pile. If you land on the skip block space, this means you can go forward that many spaces. Like this one. It says skip one block. You move forward because maybe you saw something cool ahead, like a puppy. And puppies don't carry COVID-19, so it's safe to pet. So go ahead and skip the number of blocks listed on the block, like this. One space ahead, boom. Note that if you land on a special block, as you skip forward, that space's effect applies. And this will also go for the next block. So, if you happen to land on a go back block, then that means you need to go back that many steps, like this. Because it says 4 blocks, I have to go back 4 spaces. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I land on a bonus mass space, I will actually add another space to my pile. Maybe you went back because you saw something on the ground, maybe it was money, but you have to go back and check. So that's why you move just right backwards, towards the start block. The exact amount of spaces listed on the tile will say how many spaces you need to go backwards, so just be mindful of that. Later down the line, you may encounter the lose a mass space. There are 2 on our board, here and here. If you land on this space, it means that a strong wind has blown away your mask somewhere far away, and that means it can no longer be donated. So you have to give up on your mask from your pile. So there goes a mask out of my pile. The lose a turn block means that your turn will be skipped if you're playing with other people. It is located right here. But don't worry, Cyber Spartan. Even if you land down here, you'll be back in the game in no time. However, for those that are playing alone, use this opportunity to take an extra breather or a snack or water break before continuing the game. Lastly, there was one more block that I need to tell you about. And that ooey gooey block is called the Germ Block. There are 4 on our board. 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you land on the Germ Block, this means that you have come in contact with the germ and must go home to recover. Your figure must return to the start and lose a life. Sorry, Cody. And then you would get out your counter and either write a -1 or a slash against one of the hearts that you might have Just make sure that you write down that you lost a life so you can keep track. If your figure has no more lives left, turn back time and restart the entire game. I know, though even if you restart from the very beginning, remember that a true Cyber Spartan never gives up in an art. Once all player pieces have made it to the last tile, with as many masks as they collected over the course of the game ends and a winner is crowned. Whoever makes it to the end with the most masks is the winner. So, alright Cyber Spartans, I hope you had as much fun playing this game as we had making it. If you have any questions about the game, we would be happy to answer them for you the next time we meet. Just be sure you write down your questions down so that we can answer them for you. Also, please write down your high score somewhere so that you and your fellow Cyber Spartans can see how fun it is to help your community. Also, once again, I'd like to remind you to please feel free to read the directions over and over again or go back to this video for help. Until then, happy gaming, Cyber Spartans. We'll see you next time.